I don't think that my content is particularly sparkly or stand out, but I do find myself working with a lot of mega brands. Because the number one way to stand out as an influencer is to position yourself as somebody who is business-minded. A lot of people want to be influencers, but not a lot of people are positioning themselves as business owners themselves. And big brands, they want to work with professionals. So let's get into the 6 ways that you can position yourself as a professional from the get-go. How you can establish a strong brand identity and presence and set yourself apart from somebody who is just casually posting cute content online and crossing their fingers hoping a brand is going to look their way. Number 1, have your own website or blog. I know, blogging is tired, it's a lot of work, but oh, does it pay off. I cannot count how many opportunities I have landed, how many people have found me because of my blog. It's how Google found me and reached out, leading to me eventually speaking at VidCon Abu Dhabi and VidCon US. And if you are somebody who is not interested in writing and just cannot see yourself committing to an active blog, at the very least, get yourself a website. Secure a domain name that matches your Instagram handle so that if anybody Googles you, your website pops up. And this can be completely static. At the very minimum, include an about me, all the socials, all the places they can find you along the internet, how to work with you, some testimonials even, some examples of your work. The beauty of a website is that you can fully control how you are represented, and it just makes you seem more professional. I mean, you paid for a domain name. You're a business person. On the same wavelength, invest in a branded email. Don't have your name at gmail.com. Just as us as influencers, we look at the email addresses coming into our inbox, trying to discern if they're scams or not, brands are doing the same thing. Of course, they have like a greater tolerance and they know a lot of influencers are gonna have Gmails and Hotmails and Outlooks, but just that branded domain name at the end, it just looks so much more professional. You can do this if you buy your domain name and don't even build a website with it, but I still recommend that you do. Number 3, be present on multiple platforms. Have you ever done that thing where you're interested in a brand and you kind of just are sleuthing and you're checking out all of their socials and it kind of just strikes you as weird when they're not present on one of them? Especially like one of the big ones. Like you give them a little side eye if the brand isn't on Instagram, TikTok, and like Twitter at least. No, is that just me? Maybe. But I promise you, when a brand is checking you out, they're usually doing their due diligence to see where you exist on the internet. I have a bit of an all-in personality, so when I first launched Comfy Girl with Curls, I immediately signed up on every possible platform. I did my Instagram, my Pinterest, Tumblr at the time, Reddit. And though some of these have since died, I've always tried my best to remain consistent on the majority of the key platforms. This goes to show brands that we are more than just a one-hit wonder on a single platform. We have diversified ourselves and are conscious of keeping a consistent presence everywhere. Of course, there's only one of us and we often don't have the bandwidth to be everywhere at once, but if you can manage it, try your best. Number 4, you want to make sure you have consistent branding. Your username, your profile picture, your colors, your bio should all be similar, if not the same, across all platforms. When somebody sees something, it should be really clear that it's yours. Again, this shows brands that you are taking your online presence seriously. You've put thought and care into your brand identity, and they're likely to suspect that that care and attention to detail will translate into any partnership that you do with them. Number 5, get media placements and mentions, features. Nothing says I am a professional, I am respected in my industry like the media. While this tends to happen organically, you can start building media credits and getting the ball rolling by signing up for HARO, Help a Reporter Out. It sends out a list several times a day of different requests that reporters are looking for to complete their stories, whether that is on TV and traditional media, whether it's for their website, the newspaper, and you can scroll through them and see if there are any call outs that you would be a good fit for. I've done this a handful of times and it has allowed me to be quoted on a number of different websites. For example, they might say, looking for a beauty expert to speak on summer foundations, or looking for a blogger on tips to monetize. And sometimes these get like super specific. So if you think the niche that you talk about is never going to be covered, dismiss that thought. Just sign up, because there's some obscure requests in there. All of these little features add up with time as checks of credibility. I know that I've been reached out to because people have seen me featured in a newspaper. They have heard me on a podcast. Number 6, show up in conversations in your community. I see a lot of people who do not have insane numbers that are like pillars in their community and get massive opportunities because of it. These are people who are leading conversations, having discussions, sharing their opinions, being a part of things. And I see this with people who are super present on Twitter and LinkedIn. Two of some of the easiest places I would say to insert yourself into conversations. All you have to do is be constantly monitoring the flow, comment with your 2 cents, quote tweet things, share thought starters, and all of a sudden everybody in that space knows who you are. I actually think it's quite funny that all of the ways to set yourself apart have nothing to do with like posting content on the main platforms that you're hoping to get the brand's attention on. And I think that actually just ties into the idea that if you are your own brand, your eggs shouldn't be all in one basket. You shouldn't be relying wholeheartedly on a single platform to do all of the heavy lifting of your career. The next place that I actually think that content creators have an opportunity to stand out in is actually the brand deal itself. There's so many ways that you can set yourself apart as a professional partner, and it can help you land more repeat deals. Watch this next if you want to start landing those long-term partnerships. Thanks for watching, and until next time.